set themselves up, you will see very shortly indeed. There wasn't something had to be modified.
Welcome back to the National Stadium here in Singapore. It's the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 first leg final, where Indonesia have been outplayed by the Thais. Chanatip Songkrasin has got the opening goal very early on, the quickest goal ever in a AFF Suzuki Cup final, and the reaction is to bring on three players. Evan Dimas, Elkan Baggett and Kadik Agung are the three to come on. Could well be a change in the way they set themselves up. We'll see very shortly indeed. But Russian something had to be modified because they were getting outplayed on all parts of the park, weren't they? Yes, that's what they had to do. They had to react at half time, and that's what they did. That's what they've done, sorry. They made those changes, so let's see how it affects the overall shape of this Indonesian team. It looks like at the moment it's just going to be perhaps just like for like. Elkan Baggett is still going into central defence, still with that four-man back line. It appeared, Roshan, that they were struggling. Fakhruddin was struggling, wasn't he, with the pace, 32-year-old veteran defender. He seemed to be struggling with the pace, particularly on Bodin Pala on that left-hand side for Thailand.
I mean, if that was the case, it's an interesting one, because I don't think Elkan Baggett is that pacey as well. So you've now got two young central defenders in there, Rizky and Elkan Baggett. You've taken out experience in Fakhruddin. You've added a bit more experience in midfield in Evan Dimas.
Might see a bit more of Alfredo Devanga perhaps, just hanging back. We'll see.
Ipswich under 23s, another one they're putting a lot of hopes on.
Forward by Asnawi. Looks like they are suddenly trying to be a bit more aggressive if they can. Kadik Agung muscled off the ball far too easily. Elkan Baggett came in from Ipswich under 23s, another one they're putting a lot of hopes on. It's had a very eventful Suzuki Cup. Resistant attempts in the first leg for Indonesia.
The left back position is
They flew in for this tournament and played one match, then got quarantined, and then scored a goal on his return against Malaysia.
It's quite interesting the way he's been used by Indonesia. Isn't it? I mean, it's almost like he's always coming on at half time. Let's see, we done. Here we knocked to the back. What they needed to adjust was the left back position as Alfreandra. They've dropped into their part of the pitch.
Here's Turisin Danga, plenty of Thai attackers. Look at that overlapping run on the left-hand side. Just a little bit too much on the ball there. Oklo Hanan.
Quite a tough task in his hands, keeping Super Truck.
Swift counter from Thailand. Now you get players pouring forward. The high starting position there for Thailand again. Applying the pressure on the short ball kicks out.
Fakhruddin Arianto replaced by Elkan Baggett. Ardiansyah. Left back, of course, he came in today for the suspended Pertama. Arhan had quite a tough task on his hands, keeping Super Chok and Roller quiet. Has to go as well. Faced by Evan Dimas and Rahmat Irianto is the other one who has left the pitch. Evan Dimas replaces him. Well worth the shot, why not? Taking a bit of a deflection. Super Chok's effort, and it will be a corner.
Even numbers in here tonight.
He's been everywhere for Thailand. Yeah, he is popping up in a central position. That would have troubled the goalkeeper. I think they're not taking a bit of a deflection.
Second one from Alfredo. Have to put his hand on that. It's a bit impossible contact from Super Chok.
Indonesian fans trying their best here.
Personal responsibility.
Show support for their team. Even numbers in here tonight.
Left wing back.
Nordin Pala. Kept alive here by Poglanan. Chanatim out across the board in. Ball in, but it's headed away by Rizky. Great bit away. The second one from Alfiandra. Had to put his head on that. Anticipating the possible contact from Super Chok. Bodies in there taking on personal responsibility. Attack crosses that come in. Little switch in it now at left wing back. But it's right. Fernando Vanga.
In the first half, Thailand got quite a bit of joy down their right-hand side. Indonesia's left. It was something that they needed to address just at half-time. Decided to go with that switch.
Sulaiman putting ball in. See what he was attempting to do, did he? Solid, isn't it? Makeshift centre-back today. Good attack up the other end. Here comes Super Chok. He's steaming in. Comes inside out the bag and still Super Chok. He goes back to Jonathan. A fantastic counter-attack by Thailand. Just too good. Individual quality and brilliance. Giving Thailand this goal. Super Chok. Absolutely superb. They win it there. Nothing wrong with that tackle, and they go from penalty box to penalty box. Just have a look at this. 3 players up front. The first touch in there into Super Chok, and then for him to carry the ball all the way forward, turns it around, gets himself closed down by 3 Indonesian defenders. But Chanatim on hand after he played their first pass into Super Chok, joining in the attack, changing the angle of the run, starting from a deeper position, closer to the left-hand side, ribs in field, into the middle of the penalty box. The side foots it past Nadeo. I think sees the ball late. He only scores in first legs, Roshan. That's 2 apiece in the semi-final first leg, and now here in the final first leg. Remember, he had a chance for a hat-trick against Vietnam. Penalty right down the middle was very easily saved, and now a lot of work to do for the Indonesians. We were speculating, weren't we, before half-time, how they would approach the second half. Perhaps they learned from that previous game against Vietnam, and they've come out guns blazing. Well, first of all, excellent centre-forward play by Tirasin. And yeah, again, you want to maintain that element of control. You know, you want to make sure that Indonesia don't get into any sort of rhythm. As you have a look at the top scorer's charts here, he's gone top there, ahead of Tirasin, both on 4 goals each. Still plenty of time for that to change. Tirasin looking, of course, to extend his lead at the top of the all-time scorer's chart. Here is Super Chok. Oh, that's not that far away, is it? Another one that's worth the effort for Poglanan.
You know, the way Thailand are going at the moment, this could be over after the first leg.
So impressive.
Just
Remembering how they shut up shop in the second leg against Vietnam, having a 2-0 lead.
if they were able to do that against perhaps coming into this the best side in Southeast Asia at the moment in Vietnam. Just in complete control, Thailand.
Here is Border Pala, without many of their regulars. So impressive. More to come from this side. Good Sada. They've also been stung, Roshan. I think you and I have talked about this throughout the tournament. They've been stung a little bit by the criticism. They had a poor World Cup campaign by their high standards.
Yeah.
Being bundled out early on, not even finishing third in that World Cup qualifying group in round 2. There was a mini Suzuki Cup in there, and the likes of Indonesia took points off them. Malaysia, Vietnam, of course. And they were stung by that one. That hurt, didn't it?
You know, there's been a bit of talk about how that spark it's just seemed to have gone out a little bit since Ketisong Zico left his post. And I'll come back to it.
That's now it moves from the crowd from this game and perhaps from the last one as well. Oh, that's a delightful ball, isn't it? Out to Supachok. Here he is, Chanatip. Another long-range effort, perhaps. Well, they're all taking their turns, aren't they, at the moment? Tirasin now peppering this goal.
Every time Supachok gets on the ball, he's creating danger. All sorts of issues for the Indonesian defense. Lovely step over, linking up with Chanatip. And you wonder, just going back to that spark coming back into the Thai national team with Mano Polkin coming in.
Come back to that. Here is Irfan Jai. It's offside though. Briefly, the fans got excited there. Thailand look like they're going to make a few changes now that they've probably secured this first leg. Let's see.
Again, it's another really good driving run from Kambuaya. Irfan Jaya, I mean, that's poor from him because he's looking right across the line. And he's not bothered to sort of just try and either bend this run or just drop off a little bit to try and keep himself on side. Kambuaya, I think, has been Indonesia's best player, and for Thailand it's been Supachok. I know the temptation will be to give the man of the match to Chanatip, his 2 goals, which were really good finishes, but I think Supachok has been that real driving force, that creative element for Thailand.
Well, he's certainly in contention, isn't he, Chanatip, for MVP. To regain the crown that he lost. He didn't play, of course, in the last edition. Well, that needed to be a better ball from Alfredo Devanga into the path of Ricky Kambuaya. Well, here the changes. Titipan and Supachai to come on. An opportunity for possibly Tirasin. Perhaps Pitiwat to have a little bit of a break. That will be the obvious changes, perhaps, we'll see. Remember in the last leg where Tirasin was asking if he could come off. And Polkin was saying, just give me a few more minutes. Suara has had very, very little to do in this game. So from Indonesia's point of view now, they've just got to stay in this, don't they? Yeah. It's almost damage limitation now, just keep it at 2 if they can, maybe get the goal back, but at least certainly not conceding a third.
Exactly that. I mean, we touched on this, I think in the first half, about not letting the game run away from you. There's a real danger here that it could, ahead of the second leg. And this is where tactically as well, I think if you're a coach, you're thinking about these things as well. You know, you can't take too many risks, can't take too many chances, can't open up too much.
Yeah.
Because you know there's still another game to go. And look, there's still time for Indonesia to turn this around, but it's been difficult for them to really get into the game. They've had one big moment, one high quality opportunity through Alfreandra.
Yeah. Look, he has had an excellent tournament, hasn't he, Alfreandra?
That's right.
That's not his job. Is not to put the goals in, but of course he's still in that great position. But he has been superb for them.
And a lot of these players have been great. A lot of them have been. You know, if they do end up going on to lose this,
we'll come back to that in a second, Roshan, as we just complete the substitutions, and it is going to be Tirsin to come off. We'll add to his tournament tally. This is a change we quite often see. Super Chai Chai did to replace him. As we speculated as well, Fitiwat to be replaced by Titipan. Much like-for-like changes then.
they've really managed the workloads of the players very well, Thailand. And it's easy to do that when you've got such a wonderful squad, but also having that faith in the squad to deliver. Despite the changes that you've made, players will repay that faith that you've put in them.
There's Evan Dimas, no longer able to command an automatic starting place. That's 11. Take on.
That was a really good turn from Asnawi there earlier. Top of the shoulder, get rid of Kutipan on the press and turn away.
Another one that was impressed in previous editions of the Rookie Cup. Here's a chance for Irfan. Another opportunity. Not taken at Simarak. Finally called into action.
Very good chance for Indonesia. And again, it's Kambuaya at the heart of it. He's the one who receives it in space. There you go. Makes a run in behind that Thai midfield. Picks it up in space. Picks out a lovely pass through into Irfan Jaya. And the weight on that pass, I think, is excellent. It's right into the run of Irfan Jaya. He doesn't even have to sort of break his stride. Just needs to adjust his body shape. Can't get it wide enough with enough men. Kambuaya, as I say, who's been excellent for Indonesia, is the man who's coming off.
He has been brilliant. And a big roar, though, for this man here, Egy Maulana. So much speculation as to when he would be playing in this tournament. He came on against Singapore in the second leg of that semi-final. We'll get a bit more time here today. He's in Slovakia with Seneca. He is often regarded as the great big hope of Indonesian football, the 21-year-old. Maybe just give the team a bit of a boost, but as Rosha mentioned, the most creative player, the one who's really been at the heart of things, Kambuaya, has been taken off. About half an hour or so, if you include some added time here for Indonesia in this first leg to try get something out of this if they can. Elkan Baggett. Now wide to his left wing back, Alfreandra Debanga. It's Witten Sulaiman. Still going here. And that's easy for Simarak.
It's found it very difficult to get involved in the game with Tan Sulaiman, and it's a credit to Thailand. They've got 10 players around him every time he's gotten on the ball. Again there, he was able to just wriggle away, got a bit fortunate with that. Couldn't quite find the final pass into There's runners in the box.
Play continues. Ivanga. There's Asnawi. Now Egi Molana. Lovely return ball. Here's Asnawi. Little moments here for Indonesia. Irfan. Kadek Agung. Kadek Agung. Trying to weave his way through with Dan Sulaiman. Now look at this, super chop.
He might have taken a boot to the face on the follow through. Super chop. But Witan, that's much better from him. I think they grow into this game a little bit in the second half. A bit of skill, link up with Kadek. And look at the weave his way through that defense. But it's we're at that. An important leg out. There, good challenge from Wirata, central midfielder playing in central defense for Thailand. Lars Dola was taken off with an injury.
He quite often finds himself at the end of challenges, doesn't he? He's taken quite a beating in this tournament. Players like him and Chanatip will often
will draw challenges, will draw these fouls. And you have to be brave. You know, players like that, they take on the responsibility to want to make things happen with the ball. The hits will come. But also I think we see with Chanatip, especially at this level, and the knowledge and the experience that he has now of how to use his body and how to protect himself, you know, from challenges like that. So he sees it coming almost, and you know, he knows sort of the steps that he needs to take in terms of how he positions himself, how he perhaps avoids a tackle.
Here's Chanatip, quick ball into Supachai. Now Roller. Look at that. Will, and that is an excellent goal. He comes, says Supachai, and it's about time that he gets in the score sheet. What a goal again for Thailand.
That's just pure class. I mean, I don't know how you stop that. And the key thing here is Jonathan, and again the awareness as he receives to play very quick. Turns on the ball first, second pass goes in behind that defense into Philip Roller via Boklo, and then awareness just to leave it, time and space to pick his spot. It's a big gap for him to hit. It's a huge gap for him to hit, but Chanatip just there. He saw it. Receive, quick pass on the turn, body shape spot on, into Boklo, up to Roller, and then on the edge of the box. 2 goals from the edge of the area for Thailand. He deserves that goal, Supachop. And we've seen some wonderful goals in this competition, but team goals from Thailand have been outstanding.
So good to watch. Supachop does the business one way or the other for his country. He's been magnificent tonight. And Roshan had earlier mentioned about not letting this game run away from the Indonesians. There we ask the question, is this tie over? Is this final done and dusted? 3 goals up. Of course, Indonesia are going to give it everything they can. It's an uphill struggle now, Roshan. Here is Tristan Doe. What do they do from here? How? And yeah, we were just saying a couple minutes before that, they were just starting perhaps to finally gain some attacking momentum.
I mean, what do? I mean, you obviously would have set your side up, and there are things when you look at this and I say, yeah, they were too open, lines weren't compact enough. But you need to take into account the quality of the opposition that they're up against as well. I mean, look at the way Thailand are moving. It's give and go, off the ball runs. Players with technical brilliance, but also the technical understanding. It's happening so quickly. It's very difficult for Indonesia to come to terms with the pace of Thailand's game. It's not flying there, Popolo. A bit unfortunate, perhaps risky. But free kick in a really good position for Thailand.
Pretty central, this one.
Oh, sorry, was it all three goals have been from the edge of the box? Chanatit was from the edge of the box as well.
First one smashed
on the counter-attack.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. They have all three of it, yeah. Absolutely.
Finishing has been very good.
7 shots outside the box, by the way. Power in that one. From Tristan.
That was close. I mean, from where we're sitting, looking at this, I thought that was headed in. Finishing, I mean, lots of things have been, you've seen that gulf in class and between Thailand and Indonesia. The overall play in possession, the defensive work, and then the most important thing, the finishing.
Watered there by Kritsada.
And Indonesia with 3 shots, 2 of those you would say were great opportunities. I think back to Alfeandra and then Irfan Jaya in the second half, meeting their pass in behind from Ricky Kambuaya.
Those were the high quality opportunities.
High quality opportunities, big chances for them to have gotten themselves something from this game, even though they haven't really been in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they have been second best throughout, and yet they had those 2 chances. Those are the kind of chances you've got to take in a match like this. They're missing so little of the ball. There's 20 minutes here for Thailand to play out, see if they can kill it off even more. They can. Here's Chanatit. Finds a roller. They'll get the corner. So Irfan is going to go off and replaced by another very pacey forward in Rama Rumakek. Some very good moments in this tournament.
Again, you know how well they get forward so quickly. They move the ball on. The pace at which they move the ball on, right through the middle.
Get past the first man. Looked like it had gone out of play anyway from Borden Pala. Rumakek has had some very, very good moments. Blistering pace for the 19-year-old from Persipura Jayapura. Caps to his name now. Let's see if he can do anything. That's right, on Titipan. Here's Borden Pala. They're going to make a goalkeeping change for Russia and Thailand.
Just showing off now.
That's, wow. I suppose it's nice to see Kawin, who's really kind of a legendary figure, isn't he, amongst goalkeepers of Southeast Asia. Really regarded as the outstanding #1 for a long, long time. And this is for the reception. Sirak done brilliantly. Yeah, in about 1.5 matches he's played in.
To me, another goalkeeping legend. One goalkeeping legend replacing another. I mean, they're so blessed in that position.
Listen to that. They can afford to rest Chanatip now, and Warachit will come on.
I mean, you often hear of disagreements between club managers and international managers, right, for overuse of players. I don't think there's any club manager out there that can be unhappy with the way Mano Polking has managed the workload of his players.
Yeah, he's been so good. I mean, there was the game against Singapore, he made all 11 changes, didn't use any of his first teamers at all, even in the subs. No one thought he was going to be feeling this starting 11 roster. We knew there'd be maybe 2 or 3 changes, but not to this extent. And they fitted seamlessly.
Just a bit of a nudge from Denik on Kutsada. And what was fascinating to see, just right there, Mano Polking 3-0 up.
Yeah, still
they missed opportunity perhaps. Still so upset, saying this should have been the ball to play, not the other one.
Yeah, he has certainly confounded some of the critics who may not have been too happy at his signing. And cross there from Rolla. Here's Tristan No. Giving that away to Ramai. Here's Kutsada. Waiting. Some support there, Borden Pala. There's a touch of a training match at times here. Nick said he got the ball. Shitayong's a little angry. Did not get the ball.
Lipan got his head up, looking for the next pass, sees a tackle coming in. The steps forward to get the contact.
Cowan, who took off, was such a big presence in the side. Only 31. It does feel like he has been around for so long. This is the cap today. So Warwick, there's no foul. Is there going to be a booking yet? The other card for Dinik, who looks a bit sheepish there.
Yeah, well played. Kutsada follows the run. Cowan comes out, and that's good goalkeeping. Doesn't panic, just closes on the angle. It's absolutely no contact, and that is a dive. Clear-cut dive.
That might be the first booking for diving we've had in the penalty area. That's something I think most fans would be in agreement that they want to see cut out of the game.
Yes. I mean, there's absolutely no contact in that situation. So it's a clear dive. It's obviously attempting to cheat. Or trying to cheat the referee. If there is some contact, I can absolutely understand going down, because we've seen players get punished for trying to stay on the feet.
Absolutely.
But in a situation like that, I mean, that's not something we want to encourage or we want to see at all.
Warajit, who has come on for Shanatit. A corner here for Thailand. Warajit wins it. He's just 24 years of age, winning his 6th cap today, playing for VG Pathum United, the defending champions in the Thai League. A number of their players here. One short here to Bordinpala. Tristan, he misses the ball. Potential now, and he is taken out Didik, and he will go into the book.
There's got no choice, the referee has to book Tristan for that. It's Indonesia were getting forward, potential counter attack.
It's risky. Haven't seen too much of Eddie Maulana since his introduction. He's saying to the referee, hey, what about protecting us?
Well, fouls in good position there for Tristan. Neat work by Eggy with gotten in behind. Cynical one from Tristan.
And here, shouts of Indonesia from the fans. Get a goal back perhaps before half-time. Before the, well, yeah, effectively half-time of this entire tie. Got another 90 minutes to go. Well, that, let's give them a little boost. Header away by Superchai. Not enough on the ball. So much in the Indonesian media today in the last few days. Talking about trying to break that jinx, not winning. Also, at the same time, trying to temper expectations. I think it's been the manner in which they have approached this tournament, the youthful exuberance, they've scored for fun. Look back at there with the header, not a great one. Superchai. Poklo. Warajit just trying to play in Superchai. Warajit. Bordinpala! Fantastic goal for Thailand. It's 4 now. Surely they can taste victory in this final. One hand on the cup perhaps.
They've gone straight through that Indonesian side. Just again, superb from Thailand, winning the ball back very quickly and then a quick transition. Yeah, lose it, counter press, win it, attack. Lovely ball. I mean, the weight on that pass played in behind, right into the run of Bordin. And then the composure, the finish. Again, the finishing from Thailand has been exquisite. And look at the reaction from Mano Polking. Goes off on a bit of a run down the touchline. Shanatit was upon. Trying to catch up with him.
It feels like he's still now, what you didn't see, he's still telling the referee, he's got the ball, referee.
Yeah, he's still looking for the decision, still wants his team to keep going.
Feels, Roshan, like he's kind of brought the joy back into Thai football, hasn't he? They look so good. They look so good. The fluidity of the play, the
the cohesion in the team, the understanding between the players. Oh, Shin Tae-yong. Yeah, Shin Tae-yong. But
He's done a fantastic job as
he
well.
has. And yes, Indonesia have been outclassed. But they still had a really good campaign. They've had a really good competition. And I think at times we tend to, as a society, say, oh, it's gone to the final, but they failed to win. So you regard the whole campaign as a failure. I don't think it should be regarded as that at all. I mean, they're one of the two best sides in the competition, and this is a young team that, remember, coming into this campaign, no one was really sort of giving them much of a chance of reaching this stage.
Yeah.
No one was giving them much of a chance of winning their group.
Here they come again. There's straight at the goalkeeper. They've won it back again. More goals in this. Poured in. Super chop. Titipan. Warranted. What a return there from Titipan. They are enjoying themselves, Russian.
I don't think they've had an easier final. But it's because they've made it look easy with how hard they've worked.
He must. Good run from him. Put away by Tristan No.
That epitomizes the work ethic in this team. Tristan No tracking all the way back, and he couldn't put in a lazy challenge already on that yellow card. He had to make sure he got that one right.
Here's Titipan. Played in 3 previous finals.
Mati apa nih?
Tayangan tak jadi gangguan sementara ada sulit
Aceh tidak ini.
Remember that Indonesia had actually won the first leg 2-1. Indonesia then went on to win the second leg 2-0.
Shot on target itu kalah.
Last 9 matches, 6 wins for Thailand.
Gimana sih?
Indonesia.